Will Matt Patricia survive Week 6 against the Jags? Let's talk Lions. With me today is longtime fan, longtime rich friend, Christian Thayer. Christian, thank you for joining us.
Why you gotta do me dirty like that?
Well, welcome back to the show. I am your host, Jay of Let's Talk Lions. Christian, I got a big question for you. Going into this week against the Jags, my question for you is, will Matt Patricia survive Week 6?
So, are we losing then?
So then let's look at it like this. Are we going to beat the Jags?
Yeah, yes. Unfortunately, yes. Unfortunately, we will beat the Jags. And I say that unfortunately because, I'm in the boat of what's the point now.
Sure.
I don't think winning is going to do much for us.
So you don't even want to go for wild card, is what you're saying?
No, because knowing us, we're going to lose it in the last 2 weeks of the season.
Fair.
Because that's just how it works.
And we have to play Tampa Week 16, Minnesota Week 17. And Tennessee
Correct.
is Week 15 or 14, so...
Yeah, they're good all of a sudden now.
Yeah.
Yes. Do I think we'll win? Sure. Let's just say we lose, right? Let's just say Gardner Minshew comes out in those sweet jorts and just chucks up 450 yards on us.
Sure.
First of all, props to him in those jorts. He looks great. But will Matt Patricia survive? So, when's the last time that a Lions coach was fired mid-season? Do you know the answer?
I do not know the answer.
2005 was the last time. It was Steve Mariucci.
Oh,
my. The last time a Lions coach was fired mid-season. We've gone through, I think Patricia is now our fourth or fifth coach since then. That gives me zero hope to believe that anything will happen to him mid-season, because apparently we like to deal with our issues off-season.
Even with a 10-25-1 record, you think if he loses to Jacksonville, he would make it?
Yeah, of course. He'll make it to the end of the season. That's just what the Lions do.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, based on history, I don't believe his job is in danger. I also went back to 1965. I looked at all of our coaches. I did a lot of research for you. We've had 17 coaches since 1965. Do you know how many of them, when their coaching career was done with the Lions, had winning records?
I'm going to go with 2.
You son of a... 2. 2 was the answer.
Yep. Jim Caldwell was one of them. And who was the other guy? Schmidt?
Yeah, it was Joe Schmidt in 67 to 72. I mean, technically there was 3. But the reason I'm not counting the third one is because he only coached 7 games and he had a 4-3 record. So no, we don't have a great track record of recognizing that we have a poor coach, and then we don't we're not going to do what the Texans did.
So then so you're saying we're not going to pull a Bill O'Brien get out of here, a Dan Quinn get out of here. But then my question for you is, you just said we don't really see when we have a poor coach. What about Jim Caldwell? So
his record was 36-28 over 3 years?
3 or 4 years. He had a .56 something, 563 winning percentage.
Literally .563. I'm looking at it right now.
What's that?
Was he a good coach? I didn't mind him. Some of his late game decisions, I think, were questionable.
Okay.
And I think that's what ultimately led to him leaving. But I also think that it was more or less the fact that he got us to the playoffs. What, once, twice?
2 times. Yep. Yeah.
Oh, sweet! You got the Lions to the playoffs.
Yeah.
2 out of the 3 years, and you still didn't make it.
Yep. And then you have Matt Patricia, who comes in, who's only gotten 10 wins in 3 years, and somehow still has a job. And this is what's so hard about GMs come into a new place. It's their place. It's their city. So Bob Quinn comes in, and there he is. And really, he's just giving Jim Caldwell a fighting chance to be if you slip up a little bit, I will get you out of here. So he lets Jim Caldwell build a team that is playoff caliber. lets him go, kicks him out, brings in his own guy who can't even get more than 6 wins in a season.
I mean, honestly, one of the biggest problems that the Lions face is their upper management,
Yes.
the upper part of the organization.
Ownership.
It is friends first and then business.
We need the Fords to sell, and they never will. Basically, you're telling me, even if we lose to the Jags, Patricia still has a job. You're saying, even if Patricia, no matter what, he's making it to the end of this season.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, see, that's where I'm going to disagree. I think if he loses to the Jags, he's out. Reason being, because of Bill O'Brien's firing, Dan Quinn's firing, other teams did it first. I could see him getting the boot this week.
But do you think other coaches getting fired puts pressure on us to fire our guy?
Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah, I think it opens up the door to say, okay, we're not the first ones to do it. It's just, now it's not the mega headline, it's just a headline. And most people would be like, yeah, that's probably pretty smart. You guys look terrible. Because truthfully, we have the pieces. This is what pisses me off, is I look at our team and yeah, it's kind of egregious that we have 15 expats on the team. We have a lot of older veterans and whatnot. We're a team that says, let's keep remodeling. We just throw a new shellac on. We throw a new coat of paint on rather than saying, let's just start over. Let's rebuild bottoms up, right? If we lose to the Jags, I don't think he'll make it through. So with Patricia, let's say he moves on. It's at the end of the season. We end up only winning 5 games because who knows? Are there any suitable college coaches that would be a good candidate for coaching the Detroit Lions?
Well, okay, so this question was also an interesting one because if you look at it again statistically, college coaches that try to make the leap to the NFL statistically don't work. For example, the great Nick Saban. Okay, he went to freaking Miami and was like, "Whoa, no, I can't do this. I'm going to go back to the college kids." But there's a simple explanation for it. You don't have control in the NFL. In college, you control those kids.
Yeah.
For the most part,
Sure.
right? Like, they're not adults yet.
That's
like,
exactly
they're not,
it. They're kids.
They're kids. You have so much more control. So it's like, it takes a very specific kind of college coach that I think can go to the NFL. And it's basically 2 criteria. It's really not hard. You have to be old because you have to, older.
Sure.
Because you have to be able to garner their respect.
Yeah.
You can't be some 35-year-old kid like PJ Fleck.
Yeah, because you got guys that are older than you. It's kind of like you look at the LaFleur and Rodgers situation and how there's this like pretend buddy, and really, Rodgers sitting there being like, man, like we're the same age. I've been here. I'm the QB. There's that feeling of, like you're saying, the lack of respect. You're a young guy coaching a bunch of young guys.
Correct.
You're too close. It's too close to being friends.
A couple coaches that I think are currently coaching that I think
could
make the jump. Number 1 would be Jimbo Fisher, longtime Florida State coach, currently at Texas A&M. He's older. He has a track record of being good. I think he could, get some respect. Les Miles, once LSU football coach, was great. Led them to probably at least 1 championship. I don't know, but he's currently at Kansas. And get that man out of Kansas. And then thirdly would be Ed Orgeron. He had a bunch of coaching stints. His recent one was at USC, but he's now at LSU. Won the Natty last year with good old Joe Burrow. I think that those 3 have the age, they have the track record, and I think that they could walk into an NFL locker room and at least command respect. I don't know if they're going to be good coaches for like an NFL team, because obviously those are just 2 different programs.
Right.
But I think they could come in and, in theory, have success. Do we want Bill O'Brien?
I mean, Bill O'Brien took the Texans to the playoffs 4 out of 6 years.
He's better than what we have.
I'm just saying. I was going to say, it's better than going 10-25 and 1.
Yeah, and it's better than taking a risk with a college coach.
Yeah. I mean, Bill O'Brien, I don't like a lot of his game management and like watching him with the Texans and whatnot. And I look and I'm like, if you could take the Texans, which is what, J.J. Watt, Deshaun Watson, and it was DeAndre Hopkins, like that was your team, and you took them to the playoffs 4 out of 6 years. Like, hey, Christian, I'll basically take anybody over Matt Patricia at this point. And it was so hard because I came into this season and I was like, okay, I really feel like you have to give a head coach 3 years minimally before you could be like, all right, you're done.
Yeah.
Going into this third year, I was like, I really thought we had a squad put together, and I didn't expect so many of the problems to be on the coaching end. You obviously saw them for the last 2 years. You saw the problems. You saw Matt Patricia as a head coach unable to close these games. And so it was like, all right, we'll see. We're going into this new year, and I didn't expect it to be as bad as it has been. It's been pretty atrocious. So, yeah, I say can him, and I would take Bill O'Brien any day over Patricia.
So, okay. So if we do fire him, let's just say best case scenario,
Sure.
we fire him
Best case.
Monday. Are we hiring a new actual head coach, or are we just going to get some garbage interim head coach and then we'll do the actual hiring process after the season?
I would assume the latter. I would assume that we would just bump somebody up, whether it's the OC or some interim guy, throw him in there, let him finish out the season, be like, Stafford, try not to break your back. We want to trade you next year. Christian, thank you for joining me on this wonderful episode of Let's Talk Lions. You know, obviously we're in different boats. I think that we will fire Patricia if we lose to Jacksonville. I do not believe he'll survive. You think he'll make it to the end of the year.
Mm-hmm.
I hope I'm right. I hope I'm right. Look forward to seeing you Sunday. Bring over your Honolulu Blues. We'll go nuts and drink some beer and yell at the TV a little bit.
We will yell at the TV a lot. It's been a pleasure. I appreciate coming on the show. I enjoy it.
Thanks for hanging out once again on another episode of Let's Talk Lions. Like, comment, subscribe for all your Detroit Lions news. And I'll see you Sunday against the Jags.